Shalom, Koholol, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders who came before them, taught us this truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. The brother Yahshua back with the World War III update. And for the record, I did make one last Friday, and it wouldn't load onto YouTube. So I tried to correct that and tried to load it today, and it's still acting a damn fool. I was going to throw my hands in the air, but I thought better about it, and I said I'll just come back late and go ahead and make a video. So this is going to be short, quick update. All right, and let's get a scripture to begin with. This is let's get 2nd Ezra 13. Because World War III is explicitly mentioned. Doesn't say World War III like it doesn't say America, but this is speaking of World War III. So this is 2nd Ezra 13 and 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together. I want these two words to be highlighted. Gathered together a multitude of men. Okay? This is talking about all the armies of the world, okay? A multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven, right? To subdue the man that came out of the sea. The man that came out of the sea is talking about the one the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, okay? And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. This is talking about Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ ignorantly, and the angels, the thousands of heaven, okay? Right here it says, a multitude of men were gathered together, all right? And it mentions them again down here. It says, Slovakia. It says, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together. This is 34. 2nd Ezra 13:34. This is talking about the same men. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together. There's that phrase, gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. So this is basically saying the same thing as this here. After this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men. All right, so 34 is saying basically the same thing. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them, willing to come and overcome him by fighting. Overcome whom? This guy, that man that waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Okay, so now quickly we'll go back here to Joel and further bring out that gather together. Joel 3 and 2, I will, this is talking about God, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's the same gathering. And if we read it here in the New Living Translation, it gets even more explicit. I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. I will gather all nations and bring them down in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay, so that's the gathering. The gathering is known as World War III. Okay, the valley of Jehoshaphat represents the Middle East. All right, so now we'll go down here to Secret Files channel, and these are the reports of war, wars and rumors of war, if you will. All right, and let's refresh this. One of the newest things that's going on, I think it happened yesterday, but it says 7 hours ago, China's game-changing rocket can circle the globe from space before delivering what? Nuke strike. Okay. So that's supposed to be pretty impressive, all right? And if China were to create an EMP by detonating a nuke above the atmosphere of the United States, it'll take the grid down. Okay, so that's something to consider in World War III. If they take our grid down, which they say they don't want to, they want to take America down without firing a shot so that they can come and use the land. But that's not going to happen. The scriptures tell us that Russia is going to take the U.S. down with their nukes. All of them are going to shoot their nukes over here, but Russia is going to be the victor. All right? The Medes. All right? So anyway, let's watch this and see what, because this is news. All right? Game-changing rocket. All right? China's new missile is a nuclear threat. All right, let's watch this. Commercial first, of course. Because World War III is here. It can't be stopped. When it goes hot, everything is going to change.
China's game-changing rocket can circle globe from space before delivering nuke strike. China has tested a game-changing missile that can circle the entire globe before delivering a nuclear strike, according to reports. Experts have warned the use of a hypersonic missile in space is a game-changer and should serve as a Sputnik moment for the US. It comes after it was reported that Beijing launched a rocket carrying a hypersonic glide vehicle into space in August. It is said to have flown around the globe through low-orbit space before returning to Earth. While the missile reportedly missed its target by about 24 miles, the test left Washington hot under the collar. The Financial Times quoted one official as saying, "We have no idea how they did this." Countries including the US, UK, Russia, and North Korea have all been working on developing hypersonic missiles. Like traditional ballistic missiles, these rockets can deliver nuclear weapons and can fly at more than 5 times the speed of sound. But ballistic missiles fly high into space in an arc to reach their target, while a hypersonic flies on a trajectory low in the atmosphere, potentially reaching a target quicker. Crucially, a hypersonic missile is maneuverable, making it harder to track and defend against. While countries like the US have developed systems designed to defend against cruise and ballistic missiles, the ability to track and take down a hypersonic missile remains a question. China has been aggressively developing the technology, seeing it as crucial to defend against US gains in hypersonic and other technologies, according to a recent report by the US Congressional Research Service, CRS. Drew Thompson, a former American Defense Department official with responsibility for China, said the test really should change US calculations.
All right, so there you have it. As you can see, this is Secret Files 333 of today, the 18th. China's game-changing rocket can circle the globe from space before delivering nuke strike. All right, so that's pretty significant. If they can get their missiles here quicker, deliver a first strike, and then have some sort of missile defense. But see, the scriptures say that once the nukes are launched, they're not going to come back, they're not going to be shot down, and all of them are going to hit their mark. So the missile defense systems are going to fail. All right? Because it's all outlined in the scriptures. We won't get it today, we'll save it. Okay? We'll explain, right, how the scriptures are in code. They're showing you that all of the missiles, once they're launched, see, because the Most High put it in these nations' minds to make these missiles, right? Because it's, when I say the Most High, I'm talking about God, whose name is Yahweh. He has a plan, okay? And he's using these people, these different nations, to implement his plan. Where they think that, well, we produced countermeasures that some of these missiles are going to get shot out of the sky. No, the scriptures say otherwise. They say that none of them. It said none shall miss their mark. Paraphrasing on that. All right, so 15 hours ago, see, all of this is within the day. All right. China, full scale invasion of Taiwan by 2025. Okay. Now, if they don't do what they got to do between now and next year, all right, it's not going to take that long. 2025, that's years away. This thing is going to escalate quickly, and in the middle of it, the angels are going to intervene. These armies of the world are going to be pulverized, turned to dust, and then the extraction, and then the nukes are going to destroy these different countries that they're aimed at. All right. Russia scrambles fighter jet to remove U.S. bomber. Okay, that's significant. All right, because the two superpowers, which China is one, and China's trying to flex their muscles and say, we're going to run the New World Order. That's not going to happen. It's going to be Russia, the Medes, who is going to destroy Babylon the Great. They're going to be responsible. They have more nukes than everybody else. All right. And all I'm doing is going by what the scriptures say. All right. The Most High is going to stir up the Medes. Okay. And these guys are allies. China is allies with the Russians. Okay. So, U.S.-Russia war fears. Okay, yeah. When you know what the scriptures say, it's Russia that destroys Babylon the Great. Right? And yes, they have allies. The Persians, the Medo-Persian Empire, all right, is back together, if you will. All right. See Iran in the mix over here? You got Iran. You got China. You got Russia. You got North Korea. Okay. Those are some big names. All right. So this is your World War III. All right. This is a day ago. Look at all these videos going back one day. Let's say 2 days. Okay. That's a lot of information. All right. You know what's going on in Afghanistan. All right. China's everywhere. In the South China Sea. All right. They're in Afghanistan. Secret base in Tajikistan. They're dealing with Taiwan. China's everywhere. Okay. And again, China and Russia are allies. China and Iran are allies. Okay. And where is the majority of this taking place? Okay. What is this tower on? Syria, that's in the Middle East. Afghanistan is in the Middle East. Okay. Tajikistan, all of this is in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. So the Most High is gathering the troops. Look at India. India facing Taliban. What? That's in the Middle East. Okay. So when we read this, all right, I will gather the armies of the world in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. These are the prophecies jumping off the page, the pages of the scripture. All right. Joel 3 and 9. Say to the nations far and wide, get ready for a war. Call out your best warriors. Let all your fighting men advance for the attack. Hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Train even your weaklings to be warriors. Come quickly, all you nations everywhere. Gather together in the valley. Here's where the angels get involved. And now, O Lord, call out your war. Who are God's warriors? The angels, right? That's the ambush taking place right here. Let the nations be called to arms. Let them march to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay? There's an ambush. God is bringing all of those armies down there to do what? There will I sit. There I, the Lord, will sit to pronounce judgment on them all. Okay? Jump down here. Thousands upon thousands are waiting in the valley of decision. There, the day of the Lord will soon arrive. What's the day of the Lord? Right? When all hell breaks loose and these armies get turned to powder. All right, let's get that real quick and we'll go ahead and close it. Here's what's going to happen. These are the weapon systems that the angels have. All right, 2 Ezra 13 and 10. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. That's talking about lasers. And out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. These are the weapon systems on the UFOs. Okay? And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. Remember that? Remember this? And lo, there was gathered together a great multitude of men. Well, here they are getting turned into powder. And fell with violence, those lasers fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. And Ezra said, when I saw this, I was afraid. All right. Now let's look at this real quick. Let me see if I can find it. This is really good video. History. Because really, the angels are, see, what's going on down in the South China Sea and all of this muscle flexing. These different armies are performing war games, right? And they're doing some little skirmish fighting, but the real battle hasn't begun yet. And when it does, they're going to have to declare war. Everybody's over there flexing their muscles. China is sending 800 warplanes flying by Taiwan, that whole thing. Okay, so, but I thought that this was very interesting, and I'm going to go ahead and show it. Because the angels are involved in war games too. All right? The angels are down there flexing their muscles too. Let's watch it. No, that's not it. Slovakia. Something different. Let me get the right one here. Right here.
People be
Let's see if I can find it. Okay. So this is the Navy trying to fight against the angels. See, but the most important thing, you see this craft here? And then this ship here? They're firing at the angels. And the angel just kind of shrugs it off. Doesn't fire back because it's not time yet. So they're wargaming too. The angels are wargaming too. All right? What are those people down there doing? Team spirit and all of that? They're flexing their muscles in front of you, trying to get each other to shoot and get this thing popping. And the angels are like that, hey, we're in this too. So let's watch that real quick. All right.
I just want to play this little clip real quick, and then we're gonna hit some precepts.
Okay, and the clip is Men in Black Project UFO resist defense of U.S. Navy ship. So these people know what's going on. We're showing you what the scriptures say, okay, and this is it in real time. All right. Now again, the chariots are not firing back yet because it's not that time, but we're still showing you in real time who this is, what this means, and what is about to happen. All right. Can't touch me, angels. I got force fields, cloaking. All right. Just a little appetizer. Okay. So when those things start shooting back, what's going to happen? Let's read this again. 2 Ezra 13:9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword or any instrument of war. Who is he? This is talking about the one the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose name is Yahushua HaMashiach. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he saw just what we were watching right there. They're trying to take him down. He neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. That it was just a ship. And then Ezra's just trying to explain the vision that he saw. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, right? He's explaining what happened with that craft. This is the way he explained it. As it had been a blast of fire, he's talking about straight laser beams, and out of his lips a flaming breath, concentrated fire, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. Okay? So when they start shooting back, this is what's going to happen. All right. So with that, we're going to go ahead and close it. I hope that the elect were edified. And until tomorrow, shalom.